Natasha, Busst, and this is Nightline. The top stories. Malaysia and Indonesia to boost economic ties, including pursuing joint cooperation in Ambalat bloc. And 36 foreigners linked to radical militant movement nabbed. Good morning. His Majesty the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim has reminded community leaders to uphold the federal constitution and to refrain from conduct that could threaten national harmony. In his royal address in conjunction with the Ma'al Hijrah celebrations, Sultan Ibrahim said the unity that Malaysia enjoys today stems from the principles enshrined in the constitution, which underlines justice, responsibility, and mutual respect. Sultan Ibrahim attended the national-level Ma'al Hijrah celebration on Friday morning at the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre and was welcomed upon arrival by Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim and Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dato Muhammad Naim Mokhtar. In his keynote speech, Sultan Ibrahim cautioned against the use of religion for political gain.
Islam adalah agama yang lengkap dan sempurna, mencukupi seluruh aspek kehidupan. Oleh itu, janganlah ada pihak yang menunggang agama untuk kepentingan parti politik mereka atau sebarkan fitnah yang kebencian yang akan memecah belahkan masyarakat.
The king stressed that religious platforms such as sermons and Islamic education should never be used to advance political agendas. The king also called on the people and leaders alike to safeguard the sanctity of Islam and work towards fostering harmony and unity among Muslims. This year's Ma'al Hijrah celebration carries the theme Developing a Madani Ummah, urging Muslims to reflect on Prophet Muhammad's Hijrah as a source of inspiration to build a more civilized, inclusive and spiritually balanced society. At the event, Chairman of the National Muzakara Council for Islamic Affairs Malaysia, Datuk Noh Gadot, was announced as this year's National Tokoh Ma'al Hijrah. The 79-year-old, currently the advisor to the Johor Islamic Council, is a former Johor Mufti. Meanwhile, the Saudi Arabian Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Dr. Taufik Fauzan Muhammad Al Rabia, was named the International Tokoh Ma'al Hijrah. Sultan Ibrahim presented the awards to both recipients, which included cash prizes, certificates, and trophies. Malaysia and Indonesia are committed to expanding economic cooperation, including unlocking the vast untapped potential in bilateral trade and investment. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said this includes plans for the joint development of the Ambalat bloc in the Sulawesi Sea. Speaking at a joint press conference with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto, Anwar said despite close diplomatic ties and decades of cooperation, both countries have not fully capitalized on the many opportunities available across key sectors.
Potensi investasi dan dagang negara kita ini terlalu besar. Tetapi kami berdua merasakan kita belum optimalkan keupayaan ini.
He also emphasized the importance of strengthening both countries' domestic foundations while simultaneously enhancing bilateral and ASEAN-level cooperation. Meanwhile, Prabowo announced that both countries have reached an agreement to resolve their long-standing border dispute and jointly manage the Ambalat bloc, believed to be rich in oil and gas reserves.
Sambil kita saling menyelesaikan masalah-masalah hukum, kita sudah ingin mulai dengan kerjasama ekonomi yang kita sebut joint development. Apapun yang kita ketemu di laut itu, kita akan bersama-sama mengeksploitasinya.
Kalau kita tunggu selesai, kadang mungkin mengambil masa 2 dekad lagi. Jadi kita manfaatkan waktu ini untuk mendapat hasil supaya memberikan untungan kepada kedua-dua negara.
Earlier, both leaders held a bilateral meeting at the Presidential Palace in Jakarta on Friday as part of Anwar's one-day official visit to the Republic. The visit also formed part of the preparations for the 13th annual Malaysia-Indonesia consultation scheduled to take place later this year. Last year, Indonesia was Malaysia's sixth largest trading partner, with total trade reaching more than 116 billion ringgit. Several more imported fruits will be exempted from the Sales and Service Tax, or SST, from next Tuesday. Beauty services such as hairdressing will also be excluded from the tax as part of additional measures to support small businesses. Putrajaya has also decided to raise the service tax registration threshold for leasing or rental and financial services from 500,000 ringgit to 1 million ringgit to reduce the number of small businesses that will be affected. According to the Finance Ministry, imported apples, oranges, mandarin oranges and dates will now be fully exempted from the sales tax. The move, approved by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, is aimed at easing the cost of living for the general public. The ministry reaffirmed the government's commitment to ensuring that the SST revision remains progressive and does not burden consumers with tax on essential daily goods such as rice, chicken, beef, vegetables and eggs. Meanwhile, the government has also decided not to expand the scope of service tax to include beauty services. This means services such as manicures, facials, haircuts, and hairstyling will remain tax-free. Additionally, the annual income threshold for businesses to be subject to service tax for rental services, which has been doubled from 500,000 ringgit, would mean that only businesses with annual sales exceeding 1 million ringgit will be required to pay service tax on rental services. As a result, more micro, small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, stand to benefit from the higher SST threshold. Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan, who has assumed the duties and functions of the Economy Minister, will now focus on finalising the 13th Malaysia Plan. The 5-year National Economic Roadmap is scheduled to be tabled in Parliament on July 31st. In a statement, Amir Hamzah expressed gratitude to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim for entrusting him with the responsibility of assisting in the work of the Economy Ministry. It was earlier announced by Chief Secretary to the government, Tan Sri Shamsul Azri Abu Bakar, that Amir Hamzah would assume the duties and functions of the Economy Minister with immediate effect. Shamsul Azri said Anwar had informed the Cabinet of the decision during its meeting on June 25th. Amir Hamzah noted that input received from fellow ministers suggests the need for a restructuring of the contents of the 13th Malaysia Plan. This is to ensure that the plan effectively reflects the core priorities of the Madani government and sustains the momentum of its economic reform agenda. Police have dismantled a militant cell and arrested 36 Bangladeshi men believed to be involved in a radical militant movement centered on extremist beliefs and terrorist ideology. The group had allegedly been raising funds and planning acts of terrorism aimed at toppling the legitimate government in their country of origin. According to Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, the arrests had been carried out in 3 phases of planned security operations across Selangor and Johor since April 24th. In a statement, the minister revealed that intelligence from the Police Force's Special Branch found that the group had established a recruitment cell within their community. Its objective was to indoctrinate radical beliefs, collect funds, and pursue the overthrow of their home country's legitimate government. Saifuddin stressed that Malaysia will not serve as a safe haven, let alone a staging ground for foreign extremist elements or subversive activities. So far, 5 individuals have been charged in the Shah Alam and Johor Bahru Sessions Court for terrorism-related offences. Another 15 suspects have been issued deportation orders, while investigations are still ongoing into the remaining 16 detainees. Police have obtained a 7-day remand order against the 3 suspects arrested in connection with the murder of a 20-year-old university student in Sabarjaya on Tuesday. The suspects were arrested in police raids in Johor and Negeri Sembilan. Earlier, the three suspects, a male and two females aged 19 and 20, arrived in handcuffs at the Sepang Sessions Court at 8:30 a.m. under police escort. The remand order until July 3rd was issued by Judge Azara Orani Abdul Rahman to facilitate police investigations under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. Sepang Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Nur Hizam Bahaman confirmed that the suspects were picked up by police in Johor Bahru, Johor and Kemenche Negeri Sembilan between 9 a.m. on Thursday and 2 a.m. Friday morning, less than 48 hours after the victim's death was reported to police. The victim, 20-year-old Manisha Preet Kaur Akara, was found dead on Tuesday morning in her on-campus residence at the University of Cyberjaya. A post-mortem revealed she died from blunt force trauma to the head. Police believe all three suspects were known to the victim. Manisha Preet, a Bachelor of Physiotherapy student, was reportedly living alone at the time of the incident as 5 of her housemates had gone home for the holidays on June 21st. Several valuable personal items were also reported missing from the scene. Meanwhile, the uncle of the late Manisha Preet revealed that the family were informed that 2 of the suspects were his niece's housemates. When contacted, Datuk Rajpal Singh said the matter was conveyed by the police during a meeting with the student's family on Thursday.
Keluarga tahu, kami dah tahu tentang itu, bahawa suspek telah diriman 3 orang lah, 2 perempuan iaitu rakan serumah dengan Manisha dan 1 adalah teman lelaki salah satu rakan serumah lah.
He described the late Manisha Preet as a quiet, hardworking person who did not meddle in other people's affairs.
Dia tak ada masalah dengan sesiapa lah. Dia memang disukai oleh kawan-kawan beliau. Ahli keluarga pun. She's a good girl lah. So, kita pun heran kenapa orang mau buat begitu terhadap dia lah.
Police have arrested 5 students to assist in investigations into the bullying of a Form 2 student at Maktab Rendah Sains Mara in Busst. The suspects, aged between 15 and 17, have been remanded for 3 days to facilitate investigations under Section 147 of the Penal Code for rioting. Assistant Court Registrar Yohanes Muhammad Roslan granted the remand order when the suspects, 4 Form 3 students and 1 Form 5 student, were brought before the Kuala Terengganu Court Complex on Friday morning. Police are believed to have received a report on the incident involving the victim at 6:48 p.m. on Wednesday. Busst District Police Chief Superintendent Azamuddin Ahmad alias Abu was quoted as saying investigations revealed that the 14-year-old victim was forced to remain in a semi-squatting position with a pair of slippers placed on his head for about 40 minutes. The victim also claimed he was punched in the stomach and slapped by several Form 3 students while in the boys' dormitory of the college at around 11:30 p.m. last Tuesday. As a result of the incident, the victim sustained injuries to his abdomen, ribs, and back. The incident was discovered by a warden who then contacted the victim's guardian before the Form 2 student was taken to hospital. The government is set to revive the Eat Local Fruits campaign to reduce reliance on imported fruits and boost farmers' income. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Sabu said local fruits should be served at all official government events as a show of support for the initiative.
Kalau hidang makanan, naklah hidang buah-buahan tempatan. Lepas itu nak pergi makan di luar, nak makan buah-buah ceri yang import tak ada masalah lah. Tapi dalam hidangan, dalam anjuran kerajaan federal dan negeri dan agensi, kita galakkan hidangan buah-buahan tempatan supaya kita dapat membantu para petani kita.
Muhammad added that the campaign will be officially launched on July 5th in Tawau, Sabah before being expanded nationwide. He also commended the efforts of the Malaysian Pineapple Industry Board, or LPNM, for boosting the national pineapple output value to over 1 billion ringgit, with Johor remaining the leading producer. Muhammad said this to reporters after officiating the 2025 Malaysian Pineapple Day at the Jom Hebo Carnival held at Angsana Johor Bahru Mall on Friday. For the first time, Malaysian Pineapple Day is being celebrated on a grand scale at the carnival, adding a vibrant festive twist and elevating the status of the tropical fruit, a national pride, to new heights. Organized by Media Prima Berhad in collaboration with LPNM, the 3-day event, which begins at 9 a.m. daily and will run until Sunday, features a wide variety of activities, prizes and attractions for visitors. Girl dies after being flung from vehicle. This and more after this breather.
Karnival Jom Heboh sempena Hari Nanas Malaysia akan ke Johor Bahru untuk warga selatan di Padang B Angsana Johor Bahru Mall 27 hingga 29 Jun ini. Dan jangan lupa meriahkan Hari Nanas Malaysia di booth Lembaga Perindustrian Nanas Malaysia. Ada banyak aktiviti, hadiah, selawat perdana, penampilan selebriti dan jualan lebih 50 produk berasaskan nanas oleh usahawan tempatan. Jom meriahkan Hari Nanas Malaysia. Nanas kita, kebanggaan negara.
Kerja kita belum selesai.
Top 5 Carta Muzik 40 minggu ini.
Thanks for staying with us. A 13-year-old girl was killed after she was flung from a multi-purpose vehicle that crashed along the southbound lane of the North-South Expressway near Ayakuro, Malacca on Friday morning. The accident, which occurred around 7:50 a.m., is believed to have been caused by a burst tire. Initial investigations suggest the MPV lost control before skidding and crashing into the central divider of the highway, eventually coming to a stop in the emergency lane. The teen was flung out of the vehicle into the left lane and was pronounced dead at the scene. Among those seriously injured were a 10-year-old girl and her mother. 6 others sustained minor injuries, including the male driver and his 3 other children. All victims were taken to Malacca Hospital and Jasin Hospital for treatment. The crash caused severe traffic congestion in both directions of the highway. A high-powered motorcycle rider was killed after his vehicle crashed into a car on the east-west highway in Jeli, Kelantan on Friday. The 33-year-old victim died while receiving treatment at Jeli Hospital. District Police Chief Superintendent Kamaruzaman Harun said the 12:50 p.m. incident occurred when the man, who was travelling from Gerik towards Jeli, lost control of his motorcycle before it veered into the opposite lane and collided with a car. The car driver sustained only minor injuries and received treatment at the same hospital. An elderly man was burnt to death after his home was destroyed in a pre-dawn fire in Lawas, Sarawak on Friday. In the 4 a.m. incident, 2 other occupants of the house managed to escape unharmed. According to the State Fire and Rescue Department, the deceased has been identified as Dudul Karim, aged 89. The other victims who escaped the blaze were identified as Gairul Mustafa and Nur Shamioy Abdurrahman, aged 32 and 31 respectively. The terraced house, however, was completely engulfed by flames and destroyed in the incident. The charred remains of the victim were found inside the house and have been handed over to the police for further action. Israeli strikes kill over 70 in Gaza. The details when Nightline returns.
Ayuh kita gegarkan Johor Bahru dengan konsert Jom Heboh sempena Hari Nanas Malaysia. Saksikan persembahan hebat selebriti tanah air seperti Jacqueline Victor, Nabila Razali, Amir Ukais, Wani Kerry, Azlan Typewriter, Drama Band, Tuju dan Lokabi dan ramai lagi. Dihostkan oleh Ayu Hot FM dan Hanif Miswan yang akan menggamatkan malam konsert kita. Meriahkan konsert Jom Heboh 28 dan 29 Jun ini di Padang B, Angsana Johor Bahru Mall mulai 9 malam. Jom, jom, jom!
Nurse tu, dia pegang tangan saya. Saya nak cakap sikit, Wan dah gugur. Saya tahu ramai yang kat luar sana lagi lama daripada saya. Tapi bila kita dah ada peluang mengandung ni, kita kalau boleh nak jaga betul-betul. Saya minta maaf kat suami. Minta maaf tak dapat nak jaga anak betul-betul.
Hari ini saya akan masak menu bertemakan telur. Kita ada kerabu ulam telur puyuh. Lepas tu ada telur itik lemak cili api dan ada bahan istimewa saya masukkan. Dan ada manisan floating island atau dalam bahasa Perancis le flottant. Lepas tu kita ada kek coklat telur masin. Menu terakhir mencabar mulut saya. Nak tahu apakah menunya? Jangan lupa saksikan 5 rencah 5 rasa setiap Sabtu 6.30 petang hanya di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Peningnya, kecil ke besar, besar ke kecil? Mestilah anak yang besar.
Persoalannya, saiz apa yang puas?
Mestilah saiz 65 inci. Lagi besar, lagi layan.
Juara! Wow! Lagi layan tengok tonton dekat Smart TV besar. RM9.90 je.
Lagi besar skrin, lagi puas stream. Layan tonton di Smart TV, repeat sampai pagi.
On to the foreign front. Iran's foreign minister has admitted that excessive and serious damage was done to the country's nuclear sites in the recent US and Israeli bombings. Abbas Araghchi said on Thursday that an assessment of the damage is being carried out by the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran. However, just hours earlier, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said the strikes will not disrupt the country's nuclear program. Khamenei was responding to US President Donald Trump's assertion that the bombs had totally obliterated 3 nuclear sites. The foreign minister added that there are no plans to resume nuclear talks with the US and that the government is examining what is in the interest of the Iranian people, saying its approach to diplomacy will take a new form. Zionist airstrikes have killed at least 72 people across the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours as humanitarian groups report a growing toll among Palestinians seeking aid amid the ongoing conflict. The Zionist regime killed at least 3 Palestinians in an attack on Khan Yunis, while also heavily bombing residential buildings in Jabalia. Medical sources also said a Palestinian fisherman was killed and others wounded by Israeli naval gunfire off the Al-Shati refugee camp while he was working. The increased attacks, particularly those targeting aid seekers, come as Gaza's government media office said at least 549 Palestinians have been killed by Zionist forces while trying to get their hands on emergency aid over the past month. The World Health Organization, meanwhile, said on Thursday that it had delivered its first medical shipment into Gaza since March 2nd, adding, though, that the 9 truckloads were a drop in the ocean. Investigators have downloaded flight recorder data from an Air India crash this month that killed 260 people. India's Civil Aviation Ministry said on Thursday that the data from the front recorder was accessed on Wednesday by a team led by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau with the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said she hopes the Indian government will be able to share details from the investigation into the crash in short order. The plane's black boxes, the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder were recovered in the days following the crash, one from the rooftop of a building at the site and the other from the debris. Analysis of both black boxes is currently in progress. The Air India flight bound for London crashed into a residential area shortly after taking off from the Indian city of Ahmedabad on June 12. Cambodia's influential ex-premier Hun Sen on Friday accused Thailand's prime minister of insulting the Thai king as tensions between the neighboring countries intensified. Hun Sen criticized Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawat's remarks about her military commander, whom she reportedly referred to as an opponent during a leaked phone call on a border dispute, describing the comments as an affront to the Thai monarchy, given that the commander holds his position by royal appointment. Last week, Hun Sen posted the full 17-minute recording of the private conversation on his official Facebook page. The daughter of controversial ex-premier Thaksin Shinawat now faces being sacked as prime minister as the phone call scandal has triggered calls for her to step down. Thai police have found and defused 4 explosive devices at Phuket Airport and at popular tourist destinations on the holiday island. Thailand's newspaper, the Bangkok Post, reported on Friday that a motorcycle packed with explosives was found at the airport on Wednesday, while 2 devices were found at Patong Beach on the west coast and 1 on Phrom Them Cape at the southern tip. According to the Khao Sot newspaper, police arrested 2 suspects on Tuesday who divulged details of the explosive devices planted. The suspects are reported to be from Thailand's southern province of Pattani, and their motive remains unclear. Sports now, badminton and the 2025 US Open. Kay Latshana kept Malaysia's hopes alive at the Super 300 tournament by advancing to the women's singles quarterfinals on Thursday. However, it was disappointment for compatriots Justin Ho and Wong Ling Ching, who both exited in the second round. The world number 50 edged out India's world number 49, Akarshi Kashyap, in a hard-fought 65-minute battle, winning 21-17, 20-22, 21-13 in Council Bluffs, Iowa. This marks her second quarter-final appearance of the year, following her last 8 finish at the Taiwan Open in May. The 21-year-old Malaysian will now bid to reach her first Super 300 semi-final when she faces another Indian opponent, world number 66, Tanvi Sharma. Meanwhile, fellow national shuttler Wong Ling Ching was unable to maintain the momentum from her impressive first-round upset of 4th seed Xu Wenqi. The world number 96 went down tamely 20-22, 12-21 to Bulgaria's Kaloyana Nabantova. In the men's singles, it was a day to forget for world number 43 Justin Ho, who failed to live up to his 7th seeding in the category. The 21-year-old suffered a 15-21, 21-9, 17-21 defeat to Taiwan's world number 76 Liao Jufu, a result that once again highlighted his inconsistency. Moving on to football now, the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Vinicius Jr. scored 1 and assisted another as Real Madrid cruised to a comfortable 3-0 win over RB Salzburg on Thursday, sealing top spot in Group H and booking a place in the round of 16. Under steady rain in Philadelphia, Xabi Alonso's men dominated a lackluster Salzburg side that offered little threat. Real opened the scoring in the 40th minute when Jude Bellingham slipped a perfectly timed pass to Vinicius, who danced past 2 defenders before finishing from the edge of the box. The Brazilian then set up the second in first-half stoppage time, collecting a loose ball and delivering a cheeky back heel for Federico Valverde to slot home. Real remained in control after the break and sealed the win in the 84th minute when Gonzalo Garcia capped a quick counter with a lob over the Salzburg goalkeeper. The Spanish Giants will face Group G runners-up Juventus next Tuesday at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, while Salzburg exit the tournament after finishing 3rd. After nearly a decade of delighting Sweden with their whimsical miniature mouse-themed installations, artistic duo Anonymous is showcasing 6 of their creations for the first time at the Museum of Artistic Process and Public Art. Let's take a look as we wrap up Nightline this time around. With that, I'm Natasha. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.